Hi, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. My name is Josh Albrecht, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we are very, very excited to have on our guest today, Alexander John, the creative director and designer of Clicks, plus the man, the myth, the legend, and the owner of Clicks, Shake James. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So I always like to start these things out by, for the people that don't know you or your story, let's start there. So kind of talk to me about how this project all came together, how you guys came together, how Clicks came to be.
Well, you got to talk about how Clicks came to be. I'll talk about how this came together.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, so how this came together, I met Shake in Detroit. We were at a sneaker convention. All the big guys are there, and I met so many people there, and Shake was the only person that actually stayed in contact. You know, you get all these cards and everything. You're meeting people, and it's cool. And Shake is like, hey, man, let's figure out doing something. So fast forward a year after that, I come here to do a speaking event, and Shake's there. And so he's like, man, let's connect. So I think it was just how intentional he was about communicating that really drew me to him. And then once I found out who he was to Milwaukee and just what he represented in the community, somebody who was constantly doing things like Batman, he was like this unseen hero, just going to schools and speaking to kids, no cameras involved. And I was just really a fan of that growing up in the inner city myself. So I called him and I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know how it's going to happen, but let's figure out how this works. You're doing all these Adidas collabs. I want to help you tell your story and actually uplift your community. So that's how it started.
Yeah, friendship over shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a better way? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Right.
No. It's not. It's definitely not.
And Shake, how did you give us a quick synopsis of how you came to be with Clicks and Sneex and sort of this man, myth, legend entrepreneur in the city? Give us a quick story.
Man. So Clicks kind of started when it was a lady at Adidas at the time that was named Heidi Graft, and she was the one that kind of started the whole thing. And then this is the super sped up version. So then I ended up running it to a friend of mine named John Wexler, and he was just like, yo, I think you should do the store. And so they wanted me to put it in LA or New York, obviously, and I was like, nah, it's going to be in Milwaukee. And then they was like, yo, Shake, why Milwaukee? And I always say this, I say, I should put that on a shirt. I need it, because I was like, why not? So I was like, I should put it on the shirt on the front, why Milwaukee, and then on the back, but why not? Because I always felt like Milwaukee was dope. Milwaukee has a bunch of crazy creatives here. We just don't have the spotlight that those other bigger cities have. And so that's kind of was the birth of, Clicks. Yeah. And so when I ended up meeting AJ, it was more so he was, I was already doing collabs, and he was a designer. And so I said, yo, let's figure this out. I got this shoe coming up. And so he, it's just crazy the way it works. It's I say something and then he takes it on steroids times 2,000, right? And so we started working together, and we did the first shoe together, which was the Twilight Pack. And it went viral. Everybody was chasing it and looking for those shoes, and they couldn't, they was gone. And so after Twilight, he came to Milwaukee, and he was like, yo, I want to sit down and talk to you. And so I was like, okay, cool. And it was actually 10 minutes before we met with you. And so we sat down at another table, and we're actually right around that corner. He sat down at the table, and he was just like, yo, you doing this, that. I want to be a part of it. I want to help you, and this is why. And then he went into his whole speech. And, but with his resume, as soon as he said it in the beginning, it was yes. But so I was like, okay, I'm going to let him go through his whole little spiel. And, it was yes in the beginning. So I let him go through his whole little spiel. And I was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how, me and him got together and started really, really working together.
Yeah, both of you have, connections in the industry going back, whether in both the music industry, fashion industry. AJ, you had a little bit of, you were saying earlier, a little sports industry, sports fashion. Yeah. Two beautiful minds coming together to make change in the city of Milwaukee through lifestyle branding, through showcasing love and the cool factor of our city.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you guys came around right around 414 days in 2025 is when I first really had a chance to talk with both of you. And it was that day we're standing under the flag over at City Hall and just sort of swapping stories. And it sort of was like, do we need to go to 3rd Street Market Hall and just
Exactly.
Figure something out.
Isn't
Exactly.
that crazy? Like, it's crazy to me right now. Even as you say it, I'm getting like goosebumps. I'm like, this is crazy. It literally happened like that.
Yeah. And so that's Josh. That's what happened. We came back. We sat down at 3rd Street, one of the picnic tables here in the market hall, and started mapping out what would it look like if we did a collab with Visit Milwaukee, Clicks and Sneex, AJ coming on as the creative mind, and what would that look like with Adidas?
Right.
The rest is history.
Yep.
Man.
It was crazy because like the funniest part is, so before Josh came, so we had all sat at that table. We was having a powwow. We was like, okay, and then we gonna pitch him this, and then we gonna say this to him, right? And then when he says that, if he don't go for that, then we gonna hit him with this, right? So we had this
Lay the whole thing
plan
out.
mapped
Yeah.
out, right?
Right.
And so when we sat down at the table, everything that we wanted to pitch to him, he was pitching to us.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't even have
Those
to say
are the
nothing.
best
That's
meetings
the-
ever.
that's the
I didn't have
magic.
to say nothing.
It
I didn't have to say nothing. He was like, yeah, we should tell him like we want a 2-year partnership, and then he was like, yeah, we want to do a 2-year partnership with you guys, and so we was just like, what? So we didn't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Nope. Because when you know sneakers and you know how long it takes to develop, you need 2 years, and so 2 years can be magical, and for us, with seeing the success of 414 Day, that year, what moved me was that I didn't know that the tribe's presence here was that big, and they were there playing the drums and the flag was dropping. I captured everything on slow-mo, but I was just like, man, we definitely need 2 years to tell this story because people need to know how awesome this city is, back to back. Shake's been doing his work, and now, we'll be able to do this with a more amplified, look, with other companies involved. So yeah, it was great. It literally happened like that.
Man, I love that. And I love what you said about why Milwaukee, why not? I mean, give me 2. I need 2 of those shirts. But we're going to talk about why Clicks when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We're having an awesome time with AJ and Shake from Clicks. And guys, we talked about just how you guys came together. That was awesome, and how Clicks came to be. But you guys got some awesome projects, and also people need to realize that these projects, as you mentioned, they take time.
Yeah.
So when you guys got together for your little collab with Visit, it was we need at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Tell people why you needed 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years on a sneaker design is really like, it's almost, I'll say that's one sneaker, that's one drop, basically. But you're preparing for the second one. So if you want a 2-year deal, actually you need, or to drop 2 drops within 2 year span, you need actually, more time because it's like 8 to 10 months depending on what the drop is. And this is just if everything goes right.
Exactly.
When you have multiple rounds of materials coming back and you want to change anything, that can push it out. And then you have Chinese New Year that if you run into that time, when they take that break, some of the people from the factories don't ever come back, so they go home and they reset. Factories open back up in, February. So when you're planning sneakers, you have to be strategic. You got to know what you want to do. And I think that was the beauty of working with Shake and then also talking to Josh. It was like we had a vision and we were able to execute across that in a time frame to get it to come back around this time because it's a Hail Mary. Really, it's not supposed to happen. It's a lot of tricky stuff that gets involved with it.
And of course, we complicated things too, Josh, because we said, you know what? If we're already doing one shoe,
Right.
we might as well do 2 shoes.
Right.
Yeah, because that's a normal thought
Yeah,
process.
might as well have 2 different designs.
Yeah, I mean the story is big. So with a traveling board being involved, with Shake talking in 414, then you have Summerfest involved. You just can't do all of that on one shoe. To me, so we have the shoe that represents the traveling here, the travel aspect, which it has the map, different sides of the city on the actual shoe. So that shoe gets you here, but then all the things that we talked about that makes Milwaukee is represented on the other sneaker. So you have the beer, the color of the beer, the water. You have the different shoes that Shake has dropped that we amalgamated into the design. So it's a mashup of Milwaukee's culture and the life here and the food culture here. So we call it what the Milwaukee. You know?
Yeah. What the Milwaukee, and it's for us. Was Visit Milwaukee. We've been saying we're going into the flavor era. We wanted the shoes to really feel all the flavors of the city. Every neighborhood, every restaurant, every cultural institution, all of the people. And I think the shoes do a great job of capturing everyone, every corner of the city, in amazing ways. In many ways, we wanted them to be shoes that you could wear to the festivals. That's why we wanted Summerfest to be involved.
Yeah.
And we called up Jared at Summerfest and we said, Jared, how is Summerfest going to be a part of this? And we need to make a way that if you have the shoes, like, how does that unlock something at Summerfest? How can we incorporate this festival? And now, thanks to these two, they had some brilliant ideas on how to do that.
Yeah. So with Shake, he's always trying to push the envelope. So the concept was on the table. He was just like, man, I've done so many shoes. I think we should probably do a what the. So when we met these guys and there was so many moving pieces, I'm like, Shake, this is the perfect time to do the what the concept. But with so much to explain, like you said, how do you package this in a way where it's readable, kind of legible, and it unlocks things? So we came up with the concept of using NFC technology to actually allow the consumer to engage with Visit Milwaukee or buy stuff with Clicks or even visit Summerfest and actually get tickets or access through this NFC chip that's going to come in the form of a keychain with the sneaker. So each sneaker is going to have this cool experience for the person that's wearing, and you'll be able to unlock more stuff during the year. We won't give it all away, but it's just that's really what you want. You want interaction. You want people to feel like they got to visit. Even if they bought the shoe online, through this NFC experience, you should be able to get a little taste of what it's like and then figure out getting here and getting some of this cool culture.
Yeah, we wanted that unlock unique experiences. We jokingly talk about it all the time at Visit Milwaukee as non-fungible tourism.
That's the NFT. Yeah,
the NFT world through these NFCs of this digital token that's attached to the shoe through this keychain that unlocks one. It's going to unlock a free ticket to Summerfest. So if you buy a shoe, you're getting access to Summerfest. And then we're working with Summerfest to unlock additional experiences within the festival. So this is a true celebration of our city of festivals, of the Summerfest grounds, the Summerfest experience. It's going to take you into all kinds of different areas of the city. And who knows, like I said, no one knows what else is going to get dropped.
Exactly.
Who knows what else these shoes are going to unlock.
Yeah.
And then I also want to talk, like, if that's not cool enough, right?
Huge.
Like, that's not cool enough. Two unique designs. You got this. Then AJ was like, that's not enough.
Need more.
This shoe, the shoe, needs to be a little bit different too.
Yeah.
Can you explain how the left and right version of the shoe interacts?
Yeah, so the left and right shoe don't match. Anytime you do a what the concept, it's supposed to freak people out because the shoes don't match.
Sure.
But all of the things on the shoe that makes it Milwaukee makes it this matching tone. And so in the history of sneakers, you have these types of designs happen with different brands. But what makes this unique is that this will be the first time that you'll be able to unlock the opportunity to make this a pair. So you technically can unlock a third pair. So you'll get the right lefts at buy, but then you might get the left right when you unlock and use the NFC token to actually unlock this opportunity. So it'll only come to the people who have bought the first pairs first. So they'll be able to actually get the opportunity to unlock a third pair. It's never happened in the history of sneakers.
Blew your mind, right?
I'm like, my brain is like melting. I'm like trying to scoop it back up to put it. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is absolutely insane. I had like 10 questions like 3 points ago to just talk to you guys about the design and everything with the shoe. And then you keep adding more and more awesome, amazing things on top of it. But I just, in general, the partnerships and tying everything together is so cool to not just make it we're going to represent the city in a shoe, but involve the city in the shoe.
Yeah,
exactly. Is so cool.
Yeah.
So absolutely cool. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about how people can get the shoe, and I got to talk to you about the design because I got a million questions there. Stay tuned when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. Josh Albrecht, AJ Shake, Clicks, Shoes. Awesome partnerships happening. Guys, really quick, you talked about trying to fit the whole city in a shoe and just the design. We talked to a ton of businesses and a ton of different people that just they embody Milwaukee and what Milwaukee is. You talked, AJ, just about making the design and not having it be too over the top, but also not too simple when you have all these different things. How did you do it? How did you decide on what can and cannot fit in the design of the shoe?
So here's the cool part is that when we talked about the concept, I break down shoes as a designer through panels. So you kind of like can count how many different pieces you can use to tell a different story or a different texture. But what was cool was that Shake had already had 3 previous designs, so that makes up some of the design that I choose. But then also when we got with Josh and Visit, they sent over a deck that had these little pictures of why they chose the different colors that they were using in their branding guide. And I love that because now you had the color that represented beer, you had the color that represented the water in these different areas. And so I utilized all of that. And then I had Summerfest red that was on the smiley face. So it just kind of all it kind of all came together. I had the pieces, and it was sort of like a puzzle that you put together after that, so that people feel a way, or they feel like they're discovering something. Because that's what I feel like tourism is about: coming to a new place, seeing something new, and discovering. So can we give that feel through this pack? And so that's where the one shoe has the map. You get there, the other shoe has this discovery feel, and so you're getting this feeling of tourism, even if you're not here. So it's really about trying to create something that works, for what the end goal is. Yeah,
Man, it's amazing, and also I say it all the time, Josh. Milwaukee has such pride in its city, and so even if it's not, you're showing off the shoes to tourists, to people that are coming to town, but you're also taking such pride in the shoe and what the shoe all represents. It's just a brilliant idea. All right, so how do people get the shoe? What's the process here?
It's going to be first come, first serve, 1320 East Brady Street.
So go now.
Right, start the lineup now. Yes, line
Bring
up
your
now.
tents,
Yes.
your bag chairs, set up.
Yep.
April 11th, 4/11.
Okay.
Yeah. How early in the past? Because you've done several shoe drops where people have to line up. Like, what's the pro tip? How early should people be lining up on Brady Street?
I mean,
outside the
this
shop.
This
April
one gonna
3rd.
be one of those ones. So I mean, I seen people line up for the last 414 shoes early as like 6:30. So yeah,
Get there early. Get, like you said,
a.m. 6:30.
6:30.
bring
It'd
the
be
lawn
too
chair.
Yeah, you gotta get there
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We might
there
have
we
a
go.
few special things too with those who show up first thing that day.
Yeah.
They're in line, first people getting there.
Yeah.
You guys always have something special planned
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
A little extra something instead of just ordering it online or waiting because they might get sold out. So don't wait.
Might
Yeah.
they
No,
will?
They will
Yeah.
be sold
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Might.
They
Don't
have
wait.
this-
Don't
yeah.
hold. Get a little. Is there a tease you can give about what might happen day of?
The day of?
Get something in mind.
No tease just yet on the day of. I just think that let me see. Nah,
It might be some customization. So we might have some customization going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Customize the shoes,
Yeah.
stickers last year,
Yeah,
in the
stickers,
past.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
special boxes are being made.
Yes.
Yeah.
So commemorative
Yes.
boxes for the shoes as
Yes.
well.
And we might have a couple pieces of merch that you only can get in store that won't even be sold online.
That's correct. Yeah.
So this is the thing. So part of this is like those sneakerheads, those people who just love unique experiences, travel. Like this is a reason to come to Milwaukee. And that's the
Absolutely.
whole
Yes.
part of this too is we want people to arrive
Yep.
and then explore. And these shoes will help you do that. The one literally has a map of the city and a viewfinder built into the shoe that you can explore the city.
Insane.
And so it's like come explore, be a part of it, go to Summerfest, see the city, experience the city, live the city, get all the flavor.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And so whether it be for this one or if people just want to see more of the story or some of the other designs and things, how do people find out more about Clicks?
They can go to Clicks on Instagram at Clicks Kicks, or they can just log on to the website at clickskicks.net.
Man, that's so awesome. And at this point, I think the only thing is we got to start planning for the next year to 2 years for a Joshing Around shoe.
Obviously.
I mean,
Obviously.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I mean, I've already got 3 or 4 ideas, panels, things we could work into there.
Love it. Start designing. See your sketch.
Yeah,
You got a sketch there?
Josh loves talking about jam.
Okay.
Working some jam into it.
That's
Okay.
right.
We got stuff. So you let us know. You let us know when you need us to come in and help out. Well, thank you guys so much for not only sharing the story today and talking about the shoe, but also just understanding the pride of Milwaukee and making that decision to say, no, this needs to happen in Milwaukee. Why not? Why not
Exactly.
Milwaukee? Absolutely love it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. For more information, as always, go to visitmilwaukee.org. Everyone, thanks again for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. If you're seeing this part of the show, it's because you're watching or listening on one of Visit Milwaukee's social media platforms, and we truly do appreciate that. We're having a great time with AJ and Shake from Clicks. And we welcome in our good friend who just won't stay away.
I can't.
Jared Woods from Summerfest. Guys, thank you for being here. This is the part of the show, if you know, where Josh asks his big question. Josh, take it away.
Yeah, we thought appropriate that Jared joined us because of the sneaker collab and Summerfest involvement. We got to throw it out to him as well in this round so he can help answer the question. But the question is, Milwaukee has so many cool things going on right now. And so we'd love to say that that's fresh city vibes. Now we're moving into our flavor era. So it's like, what's bringing the flavor right now in Milwaukee for you? You've experienced the city. What are the things right now? So AJ, you go first.
Yeah. So it's the food for me every time. Shake has taken me to multiple places. I mean, the food in here is good, but what was it, room service?
Yeah, room service.
Yeah, room service. I mean, and I'm vegetarian, so for them to have such good vegetarian food with an experience involved, like, it was crazy. I was inspired as an artist. We ate these, like, dumplings that were, like, in the shape of a rose, but they were purple, had gold on it, and I was just like, man, who am I, In Milwaukee, though,
Yeah,
so
why not?
Very inspired.
Why not
exactly.
Milwaukee?
There you go.
Very
Exactly.
All right, Shake, what do you got?
What inspires me about the city?
Yeah.
Honestly, man, it's the resiliency of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just see, like, even situations like this, I just see so much strength in people, in Milwaukee, that, we're not going to be broken and stuff like that. So that's just it for me. I mean, the food is always good. The social life in Milwaukee is great. But for me, it's always going to be the people. It's going to always be the people.
Love it.
That's great.
All right, Jared, those are two solid responses.
I don't know how I follow that.
Can you follow it?
I think for me, I think I'm gonna speak to the culture. Obviously, as we get rolling into festival season, there's nothing better than festival season in Milwaukee. Not only what we're doing down, obviously at Henry Meyer Festival Park, but throughout the city. Obviously, night market's going to kick in. We're going to kick off the season with Polish Fest, Pride Fest, roll into Summerfest. I mean, that is the beautiful thing, is every single culture, ethnicity is represented in a different way through a festival in the city, and that is what makes Milwaukee so special. So I'm excited for warm weather, some good food, and some fun atmosphere at these festivals.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and honestly for just collaborating and all working together to bring just a perfect example of what the city is in shoe form. It's perfect. Thank you again, guys. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. As I mentioned before, for more information on Joshing Around, you can go to visitmilwaukee.org. We'll see you next time.
Two Joshes are better than one.